The story of the United States of America does not begin with a declaration, a president, or a flag. It begins much earlier, thousands of years ago, when the first humans crossed into North America and made this vast land their home. This is not a simple story of success. It is a story filled with struggle, ambition, violence, hope, and contradiction. To understand how the United States became one of the most powerful nations in the world, we must go back to the very beginning and follow its journey step by step. Long before Europeans arrived, North America was already a world of its own. Hundreds of Native American tribes lived across the continent. Each tribe had its own language, culture, traditions, and systems of leadership. They hunted, farmed, traded, and lived in deep connection with nature. Contrary to popular myths, this land was not empty or undeveloped. It was full of life, knowledge, and complex societies. For thousands of years, these civilizations shaped the land, until everything changed. In 1492, Christopher Columbus reached the Americas, believing he had discovered a new route to Asia. Instead, he unknowingly opened the door to European expansion. What followed was a wave of exploration, conquest, and colonization. Spain, France, the Netherlands, and England competed fiercely for control over this new world. Over time, England established the strongest presence along the eastern coast of North America. These English settlements slowly grew into what would later be known as the 13 colonies. Life in the colonies was harsh at first. Disease, hunger, and conflict were constant threats. But generation after generation, the colonies survived and expanded. Farms grew, towns formed, and trade networks developed. Despite this growth, the colonies remained under British rule. Britain saw the colonies as a source of wealth. They were expected to provide raw materials and buy British goods. In return, the colonists received little protection and no political representation. As Britain imposed more taxes and stricter laws, resentment grew. Colonists began to question why they should obey a government that did not represent their interests. This question would soon ignite a revolution. If you're finding this story engaging, don't forget to like the video. It helps bring more historical stories like this to the world. Tensions reached a breaking point in 1773 with the Boston Tea Party, when colonists threw British tea into the harbor to protest unfair taxation. This act of defiance made one thing clear: the colonies were no longer willing to remain silent. In 1775, armed conflict erupted between British troops and colonial militias. What began as isolated clashes quickly turned into the American Revolutionary War. On July 4, 1776, the colonies made a historic decision. They adopted the Declaration of Independence, announcing their separation from Britain. This document was revolutionary not only for America, but for the world. It declared that all people are born with natural rights, and that governments exist to protect those rights. These ideas would inspire future revolutions across the globe. The war for independence was long and brutal. The colonies were poorly equipped and vastly outmatched by the British Empire. Yet under the leadership of George Washington, and with crucial support from France, the colonists endured. In 1783, Britain officially recognized American independence. The United States of America had been born, but its survival was far from guaranteed. Independence created new challenges. The young nation struggled under a weak central government. Recognizing the danger, leaders gathered in 1787 to draft a new constitution. This document created a strong but limited government, divided into three branches to prevent tyranny. It remains one of the most influential political documents in human history. In 1789, George Washington became the first president of the United States. Under his leadership, the nation stabilized and gained international respect. As the years passed, the country expanded westward, driven by the belief in manifest destiny. the idea that Americans were destined to spread across the continent. However, expansion came at a terrible cost. Native American tribes were forcibly removed from their lands, suffering immense loss and destruction. At the same time, slavery became the nation's greatest moral crisis. Southern states depended on enslaved labor, while northern states increasingly opposed the institution. These tensions divided the nation deeply. In 1861, the American Civil War erupted. It became one of the bloodiest conflicts in history. Brother fought brother. State fought state. President Abraham Lincoln led the fight to preserve the Union and end slavery. After 4 devastating years, the North emerged victorious. Slavery was abolished, and the nation was reunited, but the wounds of war would take generations to heal. If you've stayed with this story so far, consider subscribing. This channel is dedicated to telling history in a way that truly matters. By the late 19th century, the United States entered a period of rapid industrialization. Factories expanded, railroads crossed the continent, and new technologies transformed daily life. Millions of immigrants arrived, searching for opportunity and a better future. America quickly became an economic powerhouse. In the 20th century, the United States stepped onto the global stage. It participated in World War I and World War II. After World War II, it emerged as one of the world's strongest military and economic powers. The Cold War with the Soviet Union dominated global politics for decades, shaping international relations, technology, and culture. In 1991, the collapse of the Soviet Union left the United States as the world's sole superpower. Advances in technology, the internet, and globalization expanded its influence even further. Yet new challenges followed. The terrorist attacks of September 11, 2001, profoundly changed America's approach to security and foreign policy. Today, the United States remains a nation shaped by both ideals and contradictions. It has achieved extraordinary success while also facing deep internal challenges. Its history is complex, unfinished, and deeply human. The story of the United States is not just the story of one country. It is the story of the modern world itself. To understand America is, in many ways, to understand the world we live in today. If you enjoyed this journey through history, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay with us for more stories that shaped humanity.